Hello, hello, friends. Today I want to talk about three important topics that have been dominating headlines and social media. And first one is inflation. Then we've got interest rate hikes, and then stock market volatility. So let's dive in. First and foremost, inflation is actually when too many dollars are chasing too few goods and services. According to the Consumer Price Index, inflation rose by about 7% over the last 12 months. This is the biggest increase that we've seen since 1982, so it's a big deal. Last year, the Fed said that inflation would be transitory. They're no longer using that word, so we know that it's going to be around for the foreseeable future, and I think we've all come to experience and expect that, yeah, this is happening at the pump and the grocery store. The price of goods and services has gone up a lot, and so let's talk about why that happened and what the Federal Reserve is going to do to try to curb that. Well, if you recall, during COVID, the Federal Reserve brought rates down super low, like near zero low, and they kept them there, and they've been that low until now. They did that to encourage borrowing and spending. When rates are low, people want to borrow money more, lo and behold. And so that actually worked, partnered with this injecting of trillions of dollars of cash into the economy through stimulus packages. We actually did see 5.6% GDP growth in 2021. 2 to 3% is average. So we did have huge growth, but at the same time, it created this big problem of inflation. And so if you think about the supply chain issue, where we just can't get goods and product from other countries and even within our own country, so it's a big issue, and we're seeing the scarcity that causes the price of goods and services to go up. So the Fed has promised to increase rates this year. We don't know how much, but experts are saying they're going to go up probably like 75 basis points to 1% before the end of the year. And they'll probably do that on like a progressive scale, maybe every 3 months or something like that. So what's this all mean? What's this mean for your investments? What's it mean for the stock market? Well, I'll kind of give you my take. The bad news first, let's be honest. The government created this problem by shutting down the economy to stop a virus that has now pretty much infected everybody anyways. And then they reduced rates and they printed these trillions of dollars of cash out of thin air to try to fix that. And they kind of did fix it, but then they created all this inflation, and now they have to try to fix that. So it's going to be a delicate process for them. They can't raise rates too quickly, because if they do, the stock market gets kind of skittish, because the stock market is afraid of economic growth being stifled, right? Investors think of it that way. But if they don't actually raise rates and deal with this problem, then we're going to keep seeing the inflation problem increase like crazy. So the good news is that historically speaking, stocks do perform well when rates are on the rise. And we're also seeing high inflation, but we're seeing this high economic growth through the GDP. So that's encouraging. And unemployment, they say, is back down to near pre-COVID levels. Now, I take that with a grain of salt, because we know about, all these people quitting their jobs and retiring early. So this great resignation that we're seeing is a real thing. So I take that information very lightly. But if it helps the stock market to have peace and move along, then they can have it, right? Now, also to note, through all the COVID madness, the stock market still grew in 2020 by 16%. And in 2021 by 27%, if we're looking at the S&P 500. So those are pretty robust numbers for stock market growth. So in wrapping all this up, if you have a diversified portfolio, if you're talking to your financial advisor on a regular basis, I don't think you have anything to worry about here. That's because a solid investment strategy that's well positioned to meet your financial goals is the key here to weather the storms of life that will always come. So if you have an advisor that's helping you through this process, get in touch with them, be talking. If you don't, reach out to me. Would love to help you put together a solid plan that's going to reach your goals. And that's all I've got for you today. This is Matthew Holt with Christian Wealth Management, bringing you comprehensive financial guidance from a biblical perspective. Until next time, God bless.